rifleman, the acceptable black male. Let's have a look. This is in Atlanta, Georgia. Tyler Perry.
Hello, Georgia. Hello, hello, hello. I got to tell you, I've been a resident here for a little more than 30 years, so I know a few things about Georgia. What I want to share with you today is that this is where I found the American dream for myself. And lately I found myself having my feet in two different worlds. One where I'm talking to very wealthy people at their table, and then I come to work and I'm talking to people who work for me about everyday problems and everyday issues. So it puts me in a very, very peculiar spot to be able to talk to you. And I'm grateful for that, having my feet in both those worlds, because I still remember what it was like to stay at the Winn-Dixie on Buford Highway and have $20 and try to figure out, how do I make this meal work for the week? I know what it's like to have my landlord knocking at the door and I'm in the bed hiding because I don't want him to knock on the door because I know he has an eviction notice. I know what it's like to be homeless here in Georgia. I know what it's like to have to scrape up enough money to get to stay at a pay-by-the-week hotel off of Buford Highway. I know what it's like.
Rifleman.
I know what it's like to sleep in my car wrapped in my grandmother's quilt because I had no place to go. I know what it's like to come from work and walk outside and realize that my car has been repossessed. So make no mistake.
Well, this don't make sense. For someone that ain't got much, he's got a car, he's got somewhere to live. The money's not coming in. I understand that. Tyler Perry's now one of the most wealthiest individuals, I would say, in the entertainment business.
Hard it is, and I remember the struggle, and I also know, hear me, how expensive it is to be poor. But I also believed in an American dream. And when I was coming here to Georgia, I was looking for inspiration, and there was this show called Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. And there was a man on there that I really admired, I looked up to. He had a helicopter, and his name was on hotels all over the place. He was, hold on just a second, let me get through this so you hear what I'm saying.
Hurry up. Yeah.
Young black men admired him because his name was in rap lyrics. So when I first started making a little money, the first thing I did was check into the Trump Hotel because I wanted to feel that specialness. But then I started to do my research. Research is important. Truth is important. Facts are important.
Steady on there, son.
I found out about a discrimination lawsuit against he and his father because they didn't want people like me in their building. I found out about him taking a full-page ad out on young black men in the New York Times. I found out about the birther lie. We all heard it, saying that Barack Obama was not born in this country. There are undertones there and there are echoes there that we all had to pay attention to. So I watched him when he won the presidency. I watched him say that there were good people on both sides when neo-Nazis were screaming, Jews will not replace us. I watched him from the Central Park 5 to Project 2025. And what I realized is that in this Donald Trump America, there is no dream that looks like me.
Well,
we want a president who believes that this...
I mean, problem is, Trump's not in power. What exactly has he done to the people like Tyler Perry? What has he actually done to make their situation worse? If he's been out of office for 4 years and now coming back, not to say that the insurrection was something to underlook at. Absolutely not. It's a very shocking display of democracy. from a world leader. For myself, it just shows you the anguish, the mentality of the people. This seems to happen when people don't have a way to communicate. But if we go by the research, for the last 4 years, Donald Trump hasn't been in power. So why is the focus on Trump and not the focus on what the Democrats have done over the last 4 years and why people should vote for them for another 4?
American dream is for everyone. And that president is Kamala Harris.
Cars, mix their parts. Load, ready, go! Prepare for the next race. T-Racer's Thunder Truck.
We want a president that understands, like I did in Georgia when I came here, I didn't have anything, but I had a dream. So I worked, and against all odds,
Keep saying that. So he didn't have anything, but he had a job. So what was it? He didn't get paid well?
We go to work.
I just thought you said that you were struggling. Contradicting himself.
Now that is Broad Street Market. And then I bought another studio, which is on Greenbrier,
See?
right near Greenbrier Mall on Continental Colony Parkway.
He's doing alright for himself, isn't he? Seems so far. Or has done okay. This is Tyler Perry blasting Trump. It's just the story seems to be contradicting. It just seems like he's 1 minute he's broke, then he's working. So maybe if he delved in a bit more, he's gonna have to explain himself a little bit more, because it sounds like quite a topsy-turvy time. It is possible to be working and not have money, obviously, and it is very possible to be struggling while working. So that would be for most people with the economy at the moment. After the pandemic as well, so things have been better. For myself, you know when people that have made it talk about their struggles, sometimes some of them, it seems to be a bit of a contradiction.
It was there that Barack Obama came in 2012 to do a fundraiser. And he was getting ready to leave, and he said, "Come ride with me. We're going to my house for a fundraiser." I'm like, "Wait, you want me to ride with you and the Beast?" So I get in the car, and traffic is stopped, and we're riding, and he's talking to me. And for those of you who are old enough to remember Charlie Brown, all I heard was wah, 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 wah. I finally said, "I'm sorry, Mr. President, but I haven't heard a word you said, because I'm in awe of this country. What a great country that you could become president of the United States." And he turned to me quick as a flash and he said, "Yes, but what a great country that you could become Tyler Perry." From that moment, I went and I bought a bigger studio. I bought Fort McPherson Army Base. Right now, where we hire thousands of people are coming through that doors. And I don't care what was stacked up against me. I don't care. I didn't pay attention to that. What I paid attention to was, how do I help somebody? I broke through that door, laid it down on its side, and let it become a ramp so that somebody else can get higher too. You want to hear something about an American dream? Fort McPherson was once a Confederate Army base, where there were Confederate soldiers trying to plot and plan on how to keep 3.9 million Negroes enslaved. Now that land is owned by me.
So we got a he owns an ex-slavery plantation, And not once has he spoke about Kamala or Wolves. So that's Obama. Trump to Obama. No mention of Biden.
Let's talk about an American dream. It's seniors working so hard and working hard and seniors working hard. And what I realized when I bought it, that seniors around, their taxes were going through the roof. So what I did was, I was like, no, you're not going to come here and take these seniors' houses. I paid everybody's taxes off for years so that they can keep their houses.
Oh,
when an 85-year-old woman in Coweta County lost her house to a fire and wanted a place for all her grandkids, I rebuilt that house for her.
This sounds like what the government should be doing. Might as well have Tyler Perry in there. He seems to be doing a lot more for people. I mean, why is it that had to happen as well? What year is he talking about? He managed to buy 2 properties. Where did all this money come from? One minute he's struggling, then he's up there. Due to hard work, I would, sometimes let's not badger people that are successful. Well, it's fair to ask how you made your money, and just by what he's saying today, say like I'm an alien from another planet, come here just listening in. I don't know much about Tyler Perry. I've never watched one of his movies. I do know he's successful. I don't know how successful. I think he's very successful. So yeah, he's making quite a few claims. Not heard Harris's name yet.
AJC, a story where there was a woman who hired this contractor and he gutted her house and left her there with nothing. She was living in a house with no plumbing and no walls for years. I rebuilt that house for her. Why am I telling you this? I'm not telling you this to be bragging. What I'm telling you about it is, what I want you to understand is I have compassion for our seniors. So when a candidate says that we have lowered the cost of insulin to $35 for seniors, that candidate has my vote.
Fair play.
I put many kids through college, and recently there was a woman who was murdered by her husband, and she had 3 kids that were college age. I put all those kids through college. So when I hear a candidate say, we are going to do what we can to reduce student loan debt, that is a candidate that I can stand with. I stand with a candidate who has an American dream for everyone. She stands with us. And she has an
One minute he was just talking about some murder, and then he goes over to some people are getting their college fees paid or something.
Dream for our children. And let me tell you something
He's
about
all over
children.
the place, isn't he?
I don't know if you remember, but her DNC speech was great, right? But there's a moment that you may have missed. When the cameras were rolling, and she was walking around, and the balloons are falling, and confetti's falling, I'm watching her smile and wave. Her family comes out. But there are 2 little girls on the stage. And I see her constantly making sure they're okay, not getting too close to the edge. That's what you want. See, the little things will tell you about the heart of a person.
I think she's got a good heart. I don't think she's got a bad heart at all.
In that speech, she talked about how we have more in common than what separates us. So, Georgia, I want to put that to the test. I didn't have a father who gave me millions of dollars to start a business. Did you?
That doesn't.
My mother didn't have some great legacy, but she taught me how to pray my way through a situation. It sounds like we have that in common. I'm the kind of American that believes in a secure border, but at the same time believes that if anyone is coming seeking legal asylum, our arms should be open to them.
Comes at a cost, though.
I'm the kind of American that believes that if you are running for office, you shouldn't sink and tank a bipartisan bill to help the border so that you can use it for your own glory. If you are like me, I worked my ass off to buy my first house and build my business and take care of my family. That is the American dream.
I didn't know you had children.
I believe if you work that
Rifleman.
hard and you put into Social Security, when you get to a certain age, that you put in should be there waiting for you because it's yours. I believe that we all should have affordable health care and it not be replaced with the concept of a plan. What the hell? I'm the kind of American that believes that no matter what your party, we ought to be able to sit down and have civil conversation so that we can work toward a solution the same as I do with our governor, Brian Kemp. I'm the kind of man that believes, I'm the kind of man that believes that the government nor a man should be telling a woman what she can and cannot do with her body.
So he's pro. So it seems like he's pro-abortion then. I don't understand that point that they keep saying. For myself, it doesn't seem to have been put across that way. I've not heard anything, but it seems as if they're saying if Trump gets in, then the abortion, but something about the abortion, something's going to happen. Not quite clear what's happened there. I mean, I'm not for like the abortion. I'm more for safe sex myself. And people have the right to for their own bodies, which is true. But again, is this proven? How is Trump stopping this, or how is he affecting it without being in office?
I'm the kind of American who believes that poll workers should do their civic duty without being harassed and threatened like Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss in Fulton County. And I am not the kind of American that glories in, enjoys, laughs at, or celebrates an 80-year-old man being hit with a hammer because his wife is in politics and you don't agree with her.
Someone said that it was his boyfriend.
And two things can be true at once. I am not the kind of man that glory in, celebrates, enjoys, or laughs at a 78-year-old former president almost meeting his death at an assassin's bullet in Butler's, Pennsylvania. It's not right. It's about decency, America, and I think you agree with me.
This guy's contradicting himself.
But I am the kind of American that believes if you lose an election, that you honor the constitutional, peaceful transfer of power. And judging by your reaction, I believe Kamala is right. We have more in common than what separates us. As I'm closing here, I just want to talk about that quilt that I used to wrap up in my grandmother's car, that quilt that my grandmother gave me. That quilt was a tapestry of beautiful pieces, but I completely ignored it. I didn't think it was worth anything because she had made it from all of these stitches and gave it to me as a gift. And I was walking past this antique store years later, and I saw one in the window, and I go, wow, that's a beautiful quilt. It reminds me of my grandmother. So I walk in, I talk to the lady. She started explaining to me that each patch in that quilt was worth this and meant this because of the woman who made it. So when I think about America, I think about my grandmother's quilt. We are all shapes, sizes, and colors, but we are one.
Sounds like me.
And it was so important for me to stand with a candidate who understands that we as America, we are equipped. And I could never stand with a candidate who wants America to be a sheet. So today, I voted for Kamala Harris. And Georgia, it was only about 11,400 votes that separated Trump and Biden. So every vote counts. So I stand here, full-throated, with my full chest, begging you, imploring you, let's get out and make Kamala Harris the 47th president of the United States of America. Thank you, everybody. God.
So I don't think he actually said her name once. Not even once I heard him say her name. Her name's Kamala Harris. Maybe once he said it. Don't think I ever heard him say Tim Walz's name. For myself, just all over the place. And also a bit desperate. I mean, to be honest, a proper politician would knock the socks off Donald Trump. So it's fair to say if you lose to Donald Trump or he's in any way, then you're not doing as good, because Trump is not the best politician we know. Right? Okay. He could be challenged. So it does, look at the challenger. Makes you look at the challenger as well. I mean, why can't you beat him easily as well? So now we got Tyler Perry up there, and he's saying a lot of stuff. Some of it seems to be a bit of propaganda. I'm not quite sure why that's been pushed, because I haven't heard myself the arguments against that. I don't think that was discussed in the first debate. It was more name calling. We're not really understanding what's being offered by both people. Getting down to the real stuff. It's a lot of gimmicking, which is a problem, because there's problems that need to be solved. So we all understand the need to win over voters, but for myself, it's time now for the politicians to actually do what they say on the policies, keep them to their policies, keep them to their word. Right? And for myself, it's like a lot more emphasis on Trump, which is empowering him. Psychologically, it's empowering you. That's backfiring. What are you saying? What are you going to be doing? That's the most important thing. What have you been doing for the last 4 years? Where has Perry been? Why hasn't he been vocal over that time? Seemed to have quite a bit of problems with the tax. So who was in charge when you was getting all that problem with the tax? And how did you make all your money? You bought 2 places. One was an ex-plantation. What happened there? Who was in charge at the time? he went from murder to tuition fees being paid. He just stick to his acting, you know. Make your come and say hello, like, you know, but you don't have to go in too deep, you know. And where is the other people for this event? Like, who else was there talking? You know, Perry. I mean, who is he kind of? Who are they trying to win over here by using Perry? Not sure. I don't think. I mean, there's a lot of people you could have used. No, a lot of people. Depends who you're trying to target. For myself, yeah, it was okay. Looks, you know, larger. The crowd seems to be a little bit less active as Trump's. The ones that I've seen, I haven't seen all of them. Yeah, very well behaved crowd. For myself, a little bit of desperation at the end, but again, we haven't really heard the policies, you know. You're kind of getting a touch of them, but you've got accusations which I'm not quite sure are correct, because you know, we should have heard about that in the debate. So are they going to have another debate? What are they going to talk about? They're going to actually be talking about real issues, real stuff, you know. We'll have to wait and see. Rifleman.